Hello friends, near and far, dear to my heart. I'm Victoria with Aligned Soul Tarot. This reading will be for Scorpio and all Scorpio placements found within your birth chart or wherever you have 8th house influence in your chart. If you are unfamiliar with any of these placements, just know that I offer personalized birth chart and synastry relationship chart readings. These readings are deeply insightful. You get a 2-question comprehensive tarot spread as well as detailed birth chart notes and a private pre-recorded video to reflect back on at any given part of your journey. You can find all my services in the description box below. In this reading, Scorpio, we're going to discuss astrology for your sun and ascendant signs, tarot and oracle messages. Your love reading for April will also be linked in the description box below. There always seems to be some crossover and correlations there, so I highly encourage you to watch both to get a deeper perspective, and also watch for your other placements. We are in Aries season. We started off this Aries season back at the end of March with a lunar eclipse in Libra. I have some all signs and pick a pile readings for this lunar and solar eclipse energy on my channel, and you can find those links below. All the while, Mercury is retrograde until April 25th. We have this North Node in Aries, South Node in Libra, right? During an eclipse month, the nodal points are being activated. So for this month, I'm offering a $20 special reading. It's a 30-minute reading. You get a full tarot spread as well as detailed notes on your natal nodes and how they're being activated during this 6-month cycle that we're still going to be in, okay? You can find that information below. Shoot me an email. This is the start of a new cycle for many. Aries is the first of the zodiac, so it's kind of like the new year for astrologers. So this might be ushering in some new beginnings, maybe some endings, maybe a little bit of both, right? Especially with eclipse energy. Aries asks us to find the warrior within. This is also a strength year. So I feel like with this eclipse, we are definitely being asked to showcase our resilience, right? Our stamina and perseverance. But remember, it doesn't take blunt force. Sometimes the biggest lesson during Aries season is to find that Jedi pause before the actual strike. Now, Scorpio, let's get into your April reading. Hi, Scorpio, and welcome to this space. Welcome to this April reading. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Of course, if it does resonate, please like, subscribe, comment. I love to hear about your placements. Cross watchers, you are welcome here. You can also put your placements down in the comments section. I like to see where there's crossover with other signs. I tend to see that. Those themes come up in these readings. Okay, so let's get right into the astrology of this month, okay? So Scorpio, we got a ton of Aries energy, right? We had the solar eclipse on the 8th in Aries. We have a full moon in your sign at the end of the month. We have Venus in Aries. We also have Mercury in Aries. So what does this energy mean for you, right? Specifically sun ascendant, but if this resonates, of course, it resonates. It usually resonates for people that have a stellium in Scorpio when I read the astrology. But it can resonate for cross watchers, right? Depending on the energy. Energy's fluid. So, try not to stay too fixed, right? Scorpio, you're a fixed sign. So open, receive with an open heart, okay? So 6th house energy for you. That's kind of the main focal point. This is Virgo energy. Where do you have Virgo or 6th house in your chart? If you don't know how to read your chart, I offer birth chart readings, right? We get to dive really deep into your birth chart with a tarot spread as well. So 6th house is our sense of duty, responsibilities. You might be feeling like things are adding up. There's a lot of things that you have to do on your to-do list. And Virgo's asking you to pay attention to the detail, the subtleties in life, right? Tuning into a more mindfulness approach. 6th house also talks about health. You might be having some health issues coming up, or you are addressing them, right? Or maybe a little bit of both, right? Depending on the Scorpio I'm reading for. but it is important to pay attention to your body, mind, spirit. This sixth house can also talk about detoxifying. It's purity. Virgo represents purification, the virgin. The one shadow aspect, because you know me, I like to talk about both the pros and cons, right? Because they are interconnected. When we think about dark light, shadow, whatever you want to call it, the thing to be mindful of in the sixth house is the martyr within, right? Feeling like we have to self-sacrifice. It reminds me of kind of like the hanged man energy. And there's a time and a place within our lives where we have to step into these archetypes, or these roles that we play. That's what the sixth house is. It's like our role in the world, right? Especially to like more of like a aunt or uncle type role. Or a teacher. You might be feeling like you have something that you want to say. All of a sudden my throat got really closed up. So something about the way you teach, how you teach, and who you are teaching. So interesting how that just came out of nowhere. So for you, be mindful of that. Overgiving, overstepping. You know, when I think of Virgo energy in general, sometimes I think of like OCD, you know, nitpicking the fine details, and also the negative self-talk that can come with that energy. So these themes might be coming up for you to be mindful of. What are you saying to yourself, Scorpio? Right? The power of your mind and the words that maybe you're not even actually saying, but it's internalized, okay? So we have the full moon. Let me get a sip of water. The full moon in Scorpio. Great energy for you to release, right? Around the full moon on the 23rd. So for you, Scorpio, it's going to be a highly potent time. We're going to dive into the archetypes here. So I pulled out from my 7-day elemental deck. I want to see what major archetype is showing up for you for April, okay? And then we're going to get into your tarot and oracle messages for April. This is for the Scorpio collective. Please show me what I need to see for Scorpio. Magician, Judgment. Well, there you are. Judgment, Scorpionic energy. We also have Gemini, the Magician. Interesting. Well, there's the Hangman or the Empress. Yeah, I was sensing like the state of surrender. Sacrifice is also a big theme with the Hangman, you know, having to sacrifice maybe a period or extension of time to gain some clarity. Again, the Jedi pause. This Aries energy is full force ahead, but with Mercury retrograde and just that warrior energy, we really have had a stereotype, especially in the media, of what a warrior might look like. And yes, there are some parts of the media, that the movies that showcase, you know, the positive side, but you know, we all know that the bully kind of energy, or you know, the one that thinks that they're getting ahead in life, but they're actually self-sabotaging because they're not taking care of themselves. And it's like blunt force, like direct action, almost like bulldozing through life, like get out of my way type energy, you know. So there is something with this Hangman of like surrender. I think of the Hangman as like kind of going into a cocoon phase. So you could be feeling like that because there's a lot of tasks and things at hand that maybe are being asked of you, Scorpio. So finding some sort of balance and making some sort of judgment call here. This card in particular from this deck, you can see this angel that's portrayed here. She doesn't really want to have to make this call, but she knows. Look at the solar eclipse energy. Interesting. So there's an eclipse that's happening, right? This is Judgment Day. And she's having to blow that horn, right? Calling to the angels, the heavens, to come down for some sort of redemption in some way. There might be some sort of choices that you have to make this month that might not be, you know, they might not feel so good as what I'm hearing. It might not be such an easy choice or sacrifice that you have to make. And also just be mindful of who you're sacrificing for. Accountability, right, is huge, especially with the Aries Libra South node. access. It's like, I really just feel these themes, of course, around codependency, but also taking accountability for our own actions. And what are you manifesting as well here with the Magician? What are you calling forth in your life with intention? With the Magician, it's really important to not, you know, manipulate or coerce. You know, the Magician can be portrayed as the trickster, but it is upright here, so that's pretty positive. All right, so let's see how these cards kind of connect in with the rest of your reading. I'm going to pull from the Mystical Shaman Oracle for you, Scorpio, to start off your reading here. Scorpio, what do we have for April for Scorpio? Luminous Warrior. We were just talking about the warrior. Yeah, so this energy is very strong for you. Actually, I want to read from the book to gain some better insight for you. This is 32, which breaks down to 5. This is a point of friction. Yeah, I do feel like there has been some sort of like choice, right? It might feel like a sacrifice. There's a definition in the way we look at sacrifice. So these could be some things that you're thinking about, like, what does sacrifice truly mean? And is it really about, like, again, that martyr with the 6th house, sacrificing our own needs for another? There can be a lot of beauty in that, right? Especially if someone's down and out and maybe you feel like you have the needs, or you can help in some way. But there's such a balance there. There's such a balance. We don't want to enable, right, others to stay stuck in a pattern. So let's see here. The Luminous Warrior has no enemies in this world. With the next, he is an impeccable in word and deed. So about word, again, accountability. He focuses on the lighter side rather than what hides in the dark. Since he casts no shadow, he is a radiant as the sun and can transform his most terrible enemy into his ally. His power comes not from the sword, but from speaking his truth at all cost. It's important to focus on your power, wisdom, and beauty. Do not be seduced by what seems wrong with you or with the world. So this can also be like, I'm getting reminded of like doomsdayer, especially with the judgment, you know, that's like rapture in the Bible. Judgment day, right? We can get really stuck in the cynical kind of, you know, very shadow, you know, because there's a lot of negativity in this world. We cannot deny that, right? On a macro level, the collective is shifting, and we are starting to see some really shitty things being illuminated. And so there's a balance there, especially with Scorpionic energy. There is some sort of like attraction to the dark, you know, because Scorpionic energy is meant to, this Plutonic energy is meant to kind of see the shadow and the depths of our human psyche. All the signs have those strengths, and that's one of Scorpio's strengths, is like the ruler of the underworld. But there is, again, there's the spectrum where, you know, you can get really kind of like almost addicted to death, right? And this shadow and this cynicalism, you know. So it's important for you to check yourself if you catch yourself spiraling in some sort of negative self-talk. And remember the intentions that follow your words. Like I'm almost getting reminded of like living language. Our language is like casting out spells in a way. And we don't even realize it half the time with the way that we talk to others and ourselves, okay? Then there will be little need for action as you resolve all situations from within. So it's not always about speaking it out, right? Being very intentional with your words and what you're saying, but also, again, there is this hangman kind of energy. Like I'm getting a lot about what's being internalized for you with this energy. What are you internalizing? And who can you confide in as a trusted ally to listen? And I feel like this month you're your best ally in some way. Okay, Scorpio, let's pull from the tarot here. Ace of Wands wanted to come out there. Okay, so hope, regaining some sense of hope and optimism, passion, This is fire energy. You could have fire in your chart. Sag, Leo, Aries, right? Scorpio. Oh my. Scorpio, you got a ton of aces here. Wow. You have the Ace of Cups, Ace of Swords, Ace of Wands. All upright? Excuse me, Scorpio. Ten of Cups. We can stop here. No, I'm joking. Let's see what's going on here at the bottom. Ten of Wands. Strength. I feel like you've been resisting some sort of temptation. The sixth house, again, it's like staying on track. This is our structure, our routine, our rituals, our day-to-day practices that are keeping us in alignment so that we can receive this amazing new potential here. Aces are potential, right? This literally can be offers coming in around love, truth, awareness, expansion, hope, optimism. And it could be very much connected to a family dynamic, right? This could be a relationship. This could be a marriage. This could be the happy home, happy wife, happy husband, you know. But the thing with Ten of Cups is what I like to say is that the Ten of Cups is different for everyone. We cannot generalize what emotional fulfillment looks like. We all have the right to discover that for ourselves. It's not always about what society, you know, wants us to do, right? You know, the white picket fence with the dog and the cat and the kids frolicking through the forest, you know, like, yeah, maybe that's beautiful for some, no shame at all. But what I'm getting at here, especially with the general reading, is the power of like knowing what it is that you want. And I feel like, again, with the Magician, you're planting new seeds. I feel like you are coming to some sort of awareness around what really truly makes you happy here, coming out of a period of maybe feeling of, again, like the hangman. In this hanged man position, you have been regaining some sort of power over, again, what it is you want your Ten of Cups to look like. But you literally could be getting offers up the wazoo this month. It's looking like lots of great potential here for you, Scorpio. I love to see that. All right, let's pull from the Wild Unknown. Let's get a wild unknown message for Scorpio. What is it that Scorpio needs to know? Whoa. Slippery card. Scorpio. Scorpio. Scorpio collective. The Judge. Yeah, that's that negative self-talk that I was talking about. Judgment. Yeah, this is critical. I actually want to read from the Tarot 101. So this has been like my school book for the last decade. One of my favorite tarot books. So if you're trying to learn tarot, I highly encourage you to look into this book. But what I'm going to do is I just want to break down the Judgment card because I feel like that message is so strong for you, especially that is your major arcana, okay? And there's some questions here that I want you to ponder on, okay? To help you kind of deepen this message. 180. Okay. Man is free at the moment he wishes to be. Okay? It says here, our evolutionary cycle of gaining new knowledge inspires in us, every now and then, a rebirth of some kind. We may find ourselves outgrowing a particular spiritual path and moving on to something more suitable to our current understanding. When this happens, we undergo a rebirth like a phoenix from the ashes, liberating ourselves from the shackles of outdated habits, thoughts, and beliefs. So it's, like I said, Judgment Day. There's a lot of connection with this card, with Judgment Day. Archangel Gabriel, you know, blowing the horn, the 4 horsemen, announcing the coming of Judgment Day. The questions here that I have for you is interesting. Hold on, what's this? Here it is. What does rebirth mean to you? What rebirths have you experienced in your life, and what happened after this? What are your spiritual goals? What part of yourself or your life do you feel a need examining and changing for the better? So this is, again, this could be around health. This could be around, again, your rituals, your routines, your patterns, taking care of your body, as you know, that purification, detoxification this month. Again, so you can kind of clear out maybe some past judgment that was set upon you, or you were setting this towards another. There's something about judging, right? Judgment is a very strong message for you. And there's this rebirth that's happening. And with the judgment card, it's not always our conscious doing, right? This is led by spirit, okay? Sometimes the judgment comes in because it's like, this needs to go, this needs to shift, so that we can bring in these aces for you. So it looks like you are going through some sort of catalyst moment. Could really be shaking and stirring you up with the eclipses, right? Eclipses eclipse things in and out of our lives, or both. So there's some sort of judgment call being made, and maybe it's against your own will, but just know that this is aligning you to something bigger and better for yourself. Maybe you subconsciously have been manifesting with the magician for quite some time, but maybe you were doing it through rose-colored glasses, or a skewed lens, or a skewed more perception, a cynical, maybe revenge, spite, judgment, right? All these things where it's kind of lower frequencies that can kind of keep you bogged down. So you try to lighten the load so that you can welcome in these aces. Okay, Scorpio? All right, let's see here. Let's pull from this tarot deck. What's some advice for Scorpio? What's some advice for Scorpio? Advice. You know, another message that I'm getting for you, Scorpio, is like, if you do feel judged by another, especially if it's a fire sign, if you have fire in your chart, maybe, you know, ego around you or within you, right? We all have an ego. There's no escaping that, but checking yourself. But the naysayers, yes, there is a power in standing up for yourself. But relationships, friendships, this could be intimate partnerships, co-workers, right? They're mirroring a lot back to us. Again, accountability. What was your role in these relationships and from the past, right? Because judgment does talk about the past. And there's kind of like when you think of Judgment Day, it's like someone sits you down and like, okay, let's look over your life. Let's see, let's check it off. You know, that's just the Bible story, but judgment can look very different for you, and what that looks like in your mind, kind of like a life review. So I want you to make sure this month, Scorpio, to really sit down and reflect and take a level of accountability on your end, so that you can kind of release, right? This full moon in your sign is going to be a monumental moment for you, and a great day, right? Even 2 days before and after, to really get clear with forgiveness, reconciling differences, closure with peace, letting go of resentment and bitterness. So again, that these aces can come in for you. They might have already started to come in, but if they're not, right, this is a general reading, there could be a waiting gestation period here with the Seven of Pentacles, where it's kind of, again, more of a reflective energy. Sevens are of significance here. Look back on what you have achieved and set new goals. So there is a lot of new energy coming in for the Scorpio collective. All right, so at this portion of the reading, I am going to pull from the astrology deck. I'm going to take this over to the love reading. If you wish to follow me over there, you can find the link below, Scorpio. There tends to be some crossover. And I also have the Patreon extended messages and also astrology support, pick a pile readings, and all sign readings on my Patreon channel. Patreon members get 20% off all my services as well. So we're going to see what potential signs you might be dealing with that we will be talking about in the love portion, okay, for Scorpio. But again, if you're not dealing with the specific sun sign, they could have this energy in their chart, or again, you yourself have this energy. So let's see what we're going to be focusing in on for the love reading for Scorpio. What energies? Leo. Strong Leo is present here. We have Taurus and we have Venus. Okay, so they could have a Venus or Leo in Taurus. Oh no, sorry, Taurus or Leo Venus placement, or Mercury is what I'm seeing here. But this is a fire and earth elements, okay? You could have these in your chart, or you could be dealing with those signs. And we're also going to pull from the Heart's Hidden Secrets to see the main theme around love. What's the main theme around love that we're going to be focusing in on for Scorpio for April? Boundaries. So if you, oh, there it says here on there. So if you have felt that you or your love interest have had to set up firm boundaries, there might be something here, a breaking point. There's that Judgment. There might be some sort of messages for you in the love reading. Okay, so follow me over there. If this resonates, make sure to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell to stay up to date with your placements and when I post new readings. I wish you all the best, Scorpio. Bye for now.